Hello, everyone. My name is Will Hammon. I'm the Agriculture and Natural Resource Educator with OSU Extension in Pike County.
I'm Tammy Jones. I'm the Family and Consumer Science Educator for Pike County Extension.
Today, we're going to talk to you guys about a few updates going on around Pike County, and our first one is regarding the fair. As many of you know, the Fair Board has met, and they intend to have the fair as close to normal as possible for 2020. And we have a few guidelines, regulations that we've put together with Matt Brewster, the Pike County Health Commissioner. The first thing they got together talking about how to hold their county fair this year. They talked about maybe condensing it or shortening it, but we're concerned that if they had shortened the fair, it might force too many people to be gathered together or congregate at one time. So they decided to have the fair per usual. So it's going to be the full week long. Shows on the same days as the past, try and keep things spaced out as much as possible, but with a few guidelines or regulations on how to keep everyone safe. The first thing being that they're going to try to recommend that everyone uses social distancing, staying 6 feet apart, not gathering in more than groups of 10 people. We know that many families have been around each other or individual households. Those groups can be together, they just can't exceed more than 10 people. They're going to have markings all around the fairgrounds, on bleachers and barns, just kind of where 6 foot recommendation is. This is not going to be, strictly enforced, but we want people to be diligent on maintaining social distancing and keeping themselves safe and everyone around them. The next thing for 4-Hers and 4-H families, there's going to be a daily symptom assessment waiver filled out at the beginning of the fair. So before the fair starts, families will agree to check their symptoms or their kids' symptoms each day to make sure that no one's got a fever or has any issues related to the coronavirus. The fair board is also going to have barns spaced out as much as possible to keep animals and people away as far as being within that 6 foot window. They're also going to have hand sanitizing stations and wash stations all around for people to use. If they're in a common area where there's a doorknob they're touching or a gate swinging, something like that, they can wash their hands easily after doing that. They're not going to have a maximum capacity on spectators at events or gatherings. They're just going to recommend and ensure that people are staying 6 feet apart. For shows, there's going to be a maximum of 10 exhibitors in the ring at one time. So keep the classes fairly small. That way there's room for those animals that aren't on halters or leashes to get around and not be within each other's distance. But then also in those groups where there is, if you're holding your animal or it's on a leash or halter, you have enough room to be 6 feet apart while you're exhibiting that animal. With our grandstands and the capacity there, again, it's going to be marked off 6 feet apart. That way everyone is kind of maintaining that social distancing. But again, there's not going to be a limit on how many people can be there. And a lot of these regulations are just put forth through the health commissioner's office. But they're kind of recommendations. They're not the rules or laws, but we want to make sure that we're keeping everyone safe. We're all being diligent to do that and protect ourselves and our families.
So, Will, just kind of one thing that probably important to mention. I know we're going forward with the fair, and the date of the actual fair this year starts July the 31st with harness racing on the 31st, and the fair continues through August 8th. All events as of right now are as planned. There will be forthcoming our annual fair book that provides all of the information, the dates and the times of the shows. But as of today, we are, this is as of week of June the 15th, 2020. We want people to be aware this is the information we have, but we also know, as in recent weeks and months, that everything is subject to change.
Sure.
So we're providing with you in this update the information that we know as of today, and going forward, any updates or changes, we will be sure that we get the word out, whether it's through video conferences like this, as well as emails and press releases to the media.
Yeah, so stay in touch. Check your updates, however you get information from us, because this could all change. But like Tammy said, this is as of the week of June 15th, 2020. These are the recommendations that are in place right now.
And just to mention, as Will did, the Pike County Fair Board is working closely with Health Commissioner Brewster to ensure that the guidelines are outlined and cover all of the areas, including rides and exhibits and art hall and all of those instances. So As this continues to become closer to July and the beginning of August, we will provide more updates if any changes are made to what's allowable and not allowable. And this information will definitely be relayed weekly, as it has been, to all 4-H families as to projects, the information, the dates that they need, and things that they need to be attending, and to be aware of the limitations on numbers for events at the fair.
We'll hope to see you guys all at the 2020 Pike County Fair.